What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to the free-to-play series. We are now in episode 20 and we've got a special person here. He's definitely never been on the channel before. We've definitely not got a competition going on. It's DeadwoodJedi. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. Thanks for having me back on. Definitely fun. I like being able to come on here and brag about the success I'm having, how
Yeah.
badly you're doing in comparison, make you, throw some stones. It's good times. Yeah, I'm excited.
So have you got any further than you have been in the previous episodes and stuff? I've seen that you were starting to dabble into Ultra Nightmare and seeing how it's going and stuff.
Well, I threw a test key into Ultra Nightmare just to kind of see what we do, but I mean, we didn't even hit 10 million, so it's still a bit of we're still a little bit out, I would say, right? But yeah, I feel like we're doing pretty good right now. It's kind of hit that lull.
Mhm.
There's that part where it's like I don't have new champions, I don't have new gear. It's gonna be the same thing for a little bit. And still have yet to speed tune my team. I don't really feel like I'm still not quite at that point yet.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I'm a little nervous 'cause I feel like we might be stuck where we're at right now, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to be able to move it up. So that's kind of my concern at the moment. But right now it's just we're just in grind phase, right? It's like get more champions up to 60, more champions up to 50, get more gear, and try and improve incrementally as opposed to significantly. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
I just feel like in the back of my mind that you've got lots of stuff to say about my trash team.
I got no, I don't honestly. I like just give you a hard time, but
Yeah.
I mean I don't like like my team I have I feel very good at, like, we're at 2 key nightmare, 1 key brutal, like it's exactly where I want to be.
Mhm.
But knowing that next step, like you said in our last video, like taking that next step is absolutely massive and so hard to do.
Yeah.
And so like with your team, like I honestly like, I'm not 100% sure where you're at right now, but in some ways I don't care
Mhm.
because you still scare me. Like, because I feel stuck where I'm at. It doesn't matter if you're at 4 key nightmare. It doesn't matter if you're a 4 key brutal right now. I feel like the potential for you to come and overtake me is very, very high. And so that just makes me nervous overall. So, as much as I want to talk a little smack right now, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's just going to come right back around in my face, is kind of what I'm feeling like, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, regardless of where your team is right now, you have the bones to build something that can be really devastating. In fact, I would say, like, I don't know, our competition is 4 key Ultra Nightmare.
Mhm.
I think I still have a very good chance of being able to beat you.
Yeah.
But if our competition was like 3 key Ultra Nightmare, I would actually feel a lot less confident about it because I feel like your team has a lot longer legs, so to speak.
Mhm.
Has a lot longer term potential to it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Um,
Well,
I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous about it.
I will say, since our last discussion on your channel, by the way, guys, I will link that below. Make sure you go check out his series. I always go in there just to spy on him, I guess. But it's an amazing channel and stuff. But apart from that, like, the last time we did speak, I was still doing a 2 key brutal. I couldn't even do a 4 key nightmare properly. But if we have a look here, I can now
Mm.
3 key nightmare. So I've gone from not being
Okay.
able to do nightmare to be able to doing the top chest. So a lot has changed in 6 days. Let's just say that much. So I'm actually going to get my first ever ultimate chest. We got an ancient shard. What else we got?
Nice.
Some trash piece. Get out of here. Come on. I'll take the bruise though. I'll take the bruise. I'll keep this sort of stuff. And basically,
Yeah.
this is actually a good affinity for me, but just in case it wasn't spirit, I wanted to showcase my team to you and how it's kind of working. Okay, so basically with this team, it can be full auto and it can perform very well. And at the moment, we're running a HellHades. The second that she goes, I promise you, I will be at Ultra Nightmare very soon. Very soon, right? But it's going to come down to those 2 legendary skill tomes. And I've got until Sunday, until the Void Keep opens, to get those missions done and get that good RNG. Because right now, I've managed to stack 5 buffs, right? That's the full potential of the 25% damage mitigation of Phixion with his passive. Then we've got the marks for the drop for the increased defense. We've got everything rocking and rolling. I've now got Taragi at a 3-turn cooldown on his ally protection.
Mm.
So it's starting to form a little bit, but you can see here in the background. All right, let's do this. So, but there is one downside here, and this is going to come down to One very important thing actually. And what affinity are we facing, Deadwood? Spirit affinity. And this is, and our clan currently does not kill anywhere near the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. So testing is an issue. It's a very big issue, right? So potentially for this competition, I'm not sure if it's allowed, but I might have to relocate clans to beat you. But that's something we have to go and see.
Whoa, buddy! I don't know. I don't know about all that. I think that's a step beyond. You got to work within the limitations that we have, bro, man.
I was looking in the rules.
Now.
I didn't see anything about.
Come on now. That's some BS. I don't know about that. We got. How am I supposed to verify your actions if we're not in the same clan? That's some malarkey right there, my friend. Don't be pulling that.
Oh man, the problem is, it's like
you guys see this? He's running from the competition. He can't do it the way he's supposed to. He's running away.
Not everybody has an Elva Autumn Board. I was so salty in my previous video, right? I reread Elva's kit and I was like, increase defense, block debuffs, increase speed, continuous heals. I was like, no wonder he's having a blast over here, powering house and everything.
No increased defense. No increased defense. That would be the one thing I could really actually use on my team. This is an interesting thing though, right? Like, this is why I say your team has longer legs than mine. Is obviously affinity is going to be better for you with Taragi in there, but I mean, you're running a nice slow normal 1-1 ratio kind of speed tune team. I have to go fast. I have to go to 2-1. So for me, it's about getting the timing of everything, and it's incredibly hard. I'm actually, I don't want to spoil some stuff, but I've been kind of testing on my main account. I finally built my team there, and I was like, let's see what we can do. Results were not as impressive as I had hoped. So I'm definitely a little bit, I'm very nervous about it. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to, I built it on my main account. I'm like, oh, this might beat win our competition. Maybe not. So it's about surviving those turns, and I can't keep the increased defense from Jareg. I can't keep the ally protection up full time, right? So it's definitely a little dicier than I was hoping it was gonna be. Elva's amazing, but I feel like the limitations are pretty severe that she has as well. So
it's true. The limitation that I've got though is lack of decreased attack. That's something that you haven't got a big issue with Jareg and Venomage, right? So like for me, I've basically got a 45% chance on literally a 1-to-1 ratio speed tune to consistently place that. And if I miss it once past turn count 20, I'm dead. Everyone gets smacked. So it's going to come down to the Master Hexer extending it and giving me that extra turn to kind of lead in and stuff. But as you guys are seeing here with this team, without the cooldown of Phixion, I can't keep the stuff affinity friendly in a sense. So it's basically coming down to just book situations, and getting my next 6-star champion as HellHades is a waste of space. But I'm just trying to think, like, I had one regret I do have is not 6-starring Ronda, because I felt like the Brimstone, the 250k a hit, is a big playing field in these teams.
It is pretty massive.
Yeah,
it is pretty massive. That's the one thing where I'm like, oh, that's really nice. I don't have her with that on my main account, so that's the one thing where I'm like, well, maybe that little bit would help out. I'm surprised though you don't got rearguard in there. I mean, rearguard.
The issue is I
feel like would be such a perfect balance.
Have you seen how many books that she takes? It's
only like 57. It's not that many. Just like 110 or something like that, right? It's easy.
It's easy. Nuts. But as you see here, guys, we did reach that 3 key of the Nightmare Clan boss at the 13.1 million. But this was without the extra books on the Phixion still. And as I mentioned, I am gonna be swapping out Elhane hopefully this week.
And marked too.
Yeah, marked is nice.
2 rare champions in there.
Yeah, marked is good though. No brainer.
Marked is great.
Yeah,
but I mean that's just a lot of room for improvement. You know what I mean? Like you got 2 rare champions in there. If we can bring a couple epics in, all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, that team's gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah,
it'll be pretty nice.
I think it kind of evens its way out because we do have the blessing on, right? I feel like that's a big value to marked, but on top of that, because I've got so much damage mitigation with the ally protection and Phixion's passive, once it's speed tuned correctly, she's actually going to take hardly any damage. And that's kind of, I have tried this out on my main account, and let's just say I was happy with what I was seeing. It's just, sorry, Deadwood, I'm bringing you on to rub it in your face today.
It's fine. Fine.
But the issue is, it's the gear, guys. The gear is a big issue. Like, if we have a look in here, look at my gear. I still need to fully revamp this. A frost set is not going to be how I'm going to beat Deadwood here. There's no chance. I need some heals. Taraji, no HP %. I'm still rocking defense. I'll just move Deadwood out of the way so he doesn't break his neck. There we go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do a high five. Wait, can we reach? Wait, other side. Wait, stop rubbing my back, man. There we go.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey. All right, that was weird.
Yeah, it was weird, but I always do
Love
that. Yeah, defense % on Taraji, not very, look at the HP, nowhere near where I want it to be, especially as an ally protector, so it's something I need to start farming. Anax, he's not fully booked yet, so there's a lot of buff chances and cooldowns to get for the poison debuff, and that will instantly boost my damage because I'll be going at a 3 turn instead of a 4 turn. So that's
something I'm lacking big time.
Yeah, marked. I have got in live still, but we still don't have a banner. We still haven't got 16 everywhere or anything like that. It's basically random gear. So there's a lot of potential here to really ramp up what I'm trying to do. Elhane, waste the space, get her out of here. It's going to be coming down to Deacon Armstrong or Rearguard Sergeant. What I'm going to do is, guys, I've decided, I put it in my head. My next 2 epic books, I'm going to try it. If it misses once, I'm not using Rearguard Sergeant. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. But apart from that, I'm in a bit of an issue. There's not really much other stuff around here that I'm trying to look for. It's an issue, man.
Oh my god, I'm so upset right now.
The thing is, it's like, I still think that you will get there before me, but I'm okay with that. I think I've kind of put it in my brain for the past 2-3 weeks of stress. Like, have you seen my previous episode? How much I was stressing out? Did you not watch it?
I don't think I saw that one.
Yes.
That's the last one.
I was literally...
I tend to check in, but like periodically. I
was salty. I was in a bad state. I had a meltdown. I was like, I can't beat Deadwood here. I was hitting like 7 million on Nightmare with my best keys, and I was like, for God's sake. And then I started to face Affinity, and then that's where my hope came in. But this is where we have to kind of... Guys, let us know in the comment section. We have to discuss behind the scenes as well. Is it fair for me to move clans to afford just the competition day?
No,
why?
No, we don't need to ask anybody. It's not. It's clearly not. Come on, man. You gotta come at me with what you got, bro.
But the thing is, like, your team benefits from being the void. Mine benefits from the affinity. I don't know.
My team actually benefits from being affinity too.
Really?
You know, we got to because Rhonda gets an extra hidden.
Oh, yeah,
clan boss is under 50%.
That's true.
So, like, it's not all bad. Like, I don't mind hitting affinity. I don't have an issue with that. My thing is that, you know, we just stay in the clan. You know, all together. You know what I mean?
Wait, Deadwood, no one's watching. Can I just slip you a couple bucks? Because 60 £60 a right? We can do it.
I make no exceptions here. Look, I mean, clearly, dude, you got me like shoot. I was feeling decently confident before. I feel real unconfident right now. I mean, I am so far away from being able to 3-key Ultra Nightmare at the moment, and the fact that you are this close with trash gear, I'm just like, I'm dying inside. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, if let's say, I mean, first off, the fact that you have both Marked and Elhane in there is like mind blowing to me, because as soon as you take both of them out and replace them with better epics, it's gonna be insane. I understand you don't have another increased defense champion, so that's why Marked. But like, even if you don't go with Rearguard Sergeant, if you go with Deacon, all of a sudden you have Leech. Now you don't need lifesteal gear, and it's a wrap for me. It's a wrap for me. Like, I feel like all of a sudden now you can actually, you know, all my champions have like all 16 levels.
Oh, really?
Stuff. Like, pretty much yeah, they are.
Oh,
like, I built they are doing their work. You know what I mean? Like, there's no exceptions here. So I feel real uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Well, I still need to improve it.
Yeah.
But like, it's where it's at. The hard part I'm finding is, you know, getting one, I only have Jarek for increased defense. Like, it makes a huge difference as far as the survivability goes. But then also, like, building the defense on these champions is really, really hard to do. So I'm still a ways away. I'm still banking on getting myself a Sandlash or a Godseeker or somebody that can extend the bus for me and keep me alive. But
Yeah, I think the issue with the way that you're going is, in my opinion, is that one key. I'm not sure if you feel this, but just from first glance of seeing your comp, I feel like your team does very well some keys, and then some keys it doesn't do well. Am I right in saying that?
yeah, I would say so.
Because it's just fast as
There
possible, right?
becomes yeah, I mean, the thing is there's a threshold, right? So there's a certain level where once I hit that level of defense and HP on my champions, it's not as big of an issue because we're not really losing more than one champion a turn. When we have like right now, I'm lasting about 30 turns on Nightmare. When we
Hmm.
have Jarreg, when we have the ally protection, increase defense up, it's not as big of an issue. At least not on Nightmare. Ultra Nightmare is a different story.
Yeah.
It's not as much of an issue. But when we don't have that up, that's when I can lose people. And like when I was playing with this on my main account, that was like the biggest thing is I can't keep it up on Elva. Like she's the one that actually loses it. And when she goes down, it's over. I got no more reviver. I don't got that healing. I don't have the increased speed. Like it's over at that point. So there's a split thing of trying to make sure that those buffs stay up on my champions um as long as I can. But the hard part is like even if I want to run a 2-1 team, Elva's gonna be the short man, the person out on that deal. So it's a little bit problematic. I'm honestly like longer term, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna run a 2-1, but with Deacon instead.
Hmm.
And that makes it harder because everybody's going super fast and like getting the speed gear for that becomes really hard. So there's a lot of like there's the long term view, the short term view, and a lot of the stuff in between is really it's becoming a little difficult for me to figure out because this style of team is effective to a certain point. But when you run a traditional team, you need that ally protection, you need that increased defense. Like it's those are essential buffs. At least that increased defense. Actually, I think even more so than the ally protection, really. And I don't have them. Like I
Yeah.
just don't have like Jarreg's on a 4-turn cooldown. I mean, like I need it. I need it more. I tried it with the reflex set. It's like it's good, but it's still not great. You know what I mean? So it's like I need I need that consistency, and that's what I'm lacking, right? Like if I get a verse off the Grim, then we can talk about maybe maybe this
Yeah.
working out for me. But without that, I mean, it's dicey, man. It's dicey.
Yeah. So your most wanted is more of like a different ally protector. Is that kind of like your main thing, or are you happy with Jarek?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I love Jarreg. Like he's
Yeah.
giving me a lot of healing and stuff, but the biggest limitation on him is that 4-turn cooldown. And if you're running a speed comp, that means he's gonna have that buff up every other turn,
Hmm.
not every turn. And so if that's the case, then I need to find something to either supplement that or replace that, right? So like Jarreg's amazing, but he's my only increased defense champion, he's my only ally protection champion. If I can't get somebody else to fill that role, I'm gonna be in a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
At least to supplement that role, if not replace it. But if I get somebody else, I'll be I'll be sitting pretty. I'll be very happy, right? Like
Yeah.
I could probably deal with, if I got Taragi would be great, or anybody else, even on a 4-turn cooldown, an Azure, another ally protection champion would work okay for me just fine. But again, then who do I take out? It's how it goes. It's a whole thing. If you're gonna replace one, you got to replace them all, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Unless you get Versal off the Grim, then I'm set.
yeah, Vessel the Grim is a busted champion. I actually think he's very underrated. I think
Right?
for me, it would be somebody like a Tyrell would be like ideal for me. Will be like a game
Oh,
changer.
sure.
Yeah, I think just that
Uh-huh.
defense aura alone, alongside just the A1, I don't care about the drop defense or the damage. I think just those two roles alone should push me to an easy 2 key on Nightmare as it stands. And then, as we said, guys, 4 key is to go. 4 key is to go. So I feel like what I was trialing out on my main account is, with very similar squads, is that the difference between Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare is 1, the accuracy stats, 2 is the sustainability with defense, and all of that stuff. So I feel like just a defense
Pretty
aura
big.
alone will make a huge difference to a squad that I'm rocking anyway. But yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the the defense stuff is pretty massive. It's pretty massive. The defense and the accuracy are huge, huge things.
so what kind of goal
It's
are
rough.
you setting
It's rough.
yourself? Like right now in the foreseeable future, for me, if I'm being completely honest, I'm trying to I've kicked back a little bit. I understand it is a competition, but I'm just like, I'm accepting it for the way it is. I don't have the resources. I've got 50 gems, no silver, right? I've got no food. So I'm just kind of kicking back. I'm like seeing what kind of dungeons are on with like the events and stuff throughout the events. See if there's dragging on, double speed, double lifesteal, whatever it may be in these events here. I'm just trying to like participate, get a few books, get some gear, and just kind of, I'm looking towards the, it's hard for me, man. I'd say between 2 to 3 weeks, I think is reasonable. I think.
Wow. Okay. Great.
I'd say closer towards the 3 weeks is somewhere where I'm looking toward. Where are you thinking for yourself?
I don't know, honestly. I feel. What am I doing? I'm doing about 10 million right now, like give or take.
Oh, that's scary, man. That's scary.
But I mean, that's actually probably high. I think I've done 2 runs. One was 8, one was 9. Right, so it's pretty low. I need accuracy on Rhonda to be able to land the brimstone. That's gonna be important. I'll probably replace, like, if I actually go for it, I'll probably replace her attack chest piece with a defensive one. Just get her to last a little longer, which will sacrifice some damage, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. And yet still, that even with those changes, even if I can land brimstone, even with the change on her gear, we're still probably what, 12, 13 million. So I'm feeling a little bit stuck as far as that goes, because what I really need, I need more damage, right? Venom Mage is my only poisoner, but that's what, 2 poisons a turn. I'm really not going higher than that. Rhonda's a damage dealer, mostly through brimstone. Well, a lot through brimstone, a lot through her raw damage, but I need more there. I need more. I still have to book Elva too, right? Like I dumped a ton of books in her, and they just went in all the wrong spots.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
Dude, it's so bad. So that's a big thing. And then, I'm gonna have to really start considering: do I need a speed tune this team or not? And how much damage can I get done before about turn 20? Because I think about turn 20, my team will wipe pretty consistently. And I'll start losing people before then. Honestly, the way they're built right now, I'll probably start losing people before then, because like my Rhonda has like 2,000 defense and 29,000 HP.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's low, right? And then I don't have increased defense all the time. So, right, one of the big things I need to do is get some reflex gear. I really want to get reflex gear for Jarreg. I feel like that's the only way I'm going to be able to properly use him. Reflex gear and a buff extender will give me a chance, and that's kind of what I'm banking on right now. So if nothing else works out, I might end up actually building a Valkyrie, which I've been really trying to avoid doing. But
do it. You only build one Valkyrie.
I'm so like not excited to do that just for our little competition in this.
I've actually sat and built up a mark just for this competition, I guess.
Hey,
gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what? But and you've gotten some good work out of it. Like, I can't even hate on that.
I ain't got a choice, man. I ain't got no other increased defense champions. I was gotta use what I got. It's like, it was just stressing me out that I couldn't get to Nightmare. I was like, Marked, I swear to God, if you don't get me to Nightmare, I'm gonna. Do you know what I wish? I wish that one day they could just let me turn a 6-star into turn my next 5-star into a 6-star by using a 6-star. I would get rid of HellHades and just put Deacon in there, I swear. She's such a waste of space, man.
I hear you. I mean, I do have another champion that I could look to bring in Grizzled Jarl. I do have that on my account, which would be, I mean, he's a very good champion, right? The thing is, obviously, like, I'm not speed tuning with, like, I can't. Something people might not know: if you have an increased speed champion like an Elva, right? 3-turn cooldown, 4-turn cooldown, doesn't really matter. You need at least one other champion to get to a 2-1 ratio to have a real proper speed tune, unless you run them super slow, in which case, like, they're going to be useless pretty much anywhere else. This is why I have not done this with Elva. But you can do that, right? You can run them super slow and create a random speed tune. But otherwise, you need at least one other champion. You need a buff extender or another speed champion. I don't really want to do that, because then I'm literally using 3 champions for all my other stuff: ally protection, my increased defense, my decreased attack, my poisons, all the other stuff. I only get 3 other slots for that. So that becomes a real issue as far as building this team. If you have a speed booster like a Deacon, that's all you need, Deacon or a Seeker. But then everybody's speed have to be pretty darn fast. That's pretty hard for me to do. And so that becomes a big issue. Obviously, free to play, new account. We don't have that much great speed gear going on, period. So these are the things I have to balance here. And so unless I completely pivot and take my team into more of a slow tune team, which I mean, between you and me, I think probably I might actually get better results out of if I actually do that. But then it's like I'm taking Elv out of the team. Like I have to make some real significant changes to the way I'm building my team and the way I'm running it. So that's kind of that's the balance that I'm looking at right now and trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing for this team going forward. So if I cannot 4-key Ultra Nightmare, I will probably be leveling up and ranking up some let's say questionable champions. Some people that maybe I was not planning on building up.
Guys, you have to put it in the comments. Yeah. Deadwood, max up a Valerie. That's it. We want to see it now. It's locked in. I know that feeling though. It's like you're just hoping, oh, do I really need this? My next pull might be a Sandlash. Let me just see. But sometimes it's not meant to be, Deadwood. Maybe just that's not the plans that Raid set out for you, right? It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. You had your chance with Maruka, it didn't happen. You threw your hat, and the word is it's still in the UK in the transporting system. It's stress for you, man.
Yeah, it's kind of true. Killing me a little bit here. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like I just really wanted to use my best 5 champions. And I think really when it comes down to it for Ultra Nightmare, that's not going to be in my best interest, right?
Yeah,
something I want to do, but I in a reality situation, it's just like it's probably not as practical as it should be. So
yeah,
yeah. So this is the hard part because I'm like I feel close, right? I'm like 10 million on Ultra Nightmare. I can do that.
Yeah,
But
it's funny because
that 4-key is such a big jump, man. That 8 million, I'm like, oh, that's huge.
It's leap. Funny. I'm just sitting there watching you, thinking like all of your thoughts going through your brain, like, oh, but if I do this, then maybe I might be able to get this. But then, oh, no, actually, no, that's not gonna work because of this. It's funny. Oh, God.
This is what I spend my time doing, folks.
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same boat. So, all right, guys, this episode actually has gone up for 30 minutes, and we did actually plan on doing some clan boss guides within this. So if you do want to stay tuned, we will have another video dropping tomorrow, deep diving into ways to take on the clan boss and the fundamentals of those. So we actually did one of these last year, right, of how to beat the clan boss in 2022, and a bunch of you guys seem to enjoy it. So we're going to be deep diving again, some of the basics, and if you guys want to join us, definitely swing over there. But Deadwood, thank you so much for jumping on episode number 20. I appreciate your time and all of that good stuff and showing me your squads and what you've been getting up to.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. Nothing like coming on here and feeling worse than when I started. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. And guys, I actually asked you to get him to more subscribers than Mr. Beast last time. Are you there yet? Are you like 5 billion yet? 5 billion subscribers.
Oh yeah, I'm a little like 4.8 million. Yeah,
guys, you can't be doing that. So what you guys need to do now is you need to head into the description, click his link, and get him to 10 billion. You guys fell short. It wasn't me, right?
100%. No, you were great. You were great. No.
All right, guys, we'll see you on that video soon, and peace.